holding in your hand, IDEC solicited it from Mr. Adams. You received a letter from the minister. You then directed Mr. Perumal to act on that and contact Mr. Adams and
Ask him for his...
Ask him. So you solicited a Section 27 affidavit from a would-be complainant.
I don't agree with the solicited.
Ma'am?
I don't agree with solicited. We
Okay.
would have asked him. Because, you see, I'm going into the detail that's not mine and not in my head, and I don't want to sound like
It's yours, Advocate Johnson. You are the one who gave an instruction to Chief Perumal to contact Mr. Adams. So Ms. Sillo's question relates to that. That has nothing to do. Mr. Perumal would then have been the actor on your instruction. That's where the question is. It has nothing to do with what Mr. Perumal then did down the line. So please do not deflect the question and refer to what Mr. Perumal would have done or not done. Can you please respond to the question?
Then we would have obtained the statement.
At your instance, that's the substance of the question.
That is correct.
That's what Ms. Sillo means when she says to you, so you solicited the affidavit, because what came out of your instruction that please contact Mr. Adams was the submission of the Section 27 affidavit. So it's on that basis that Ms. Sillo is suggesting to you, you solicited that affidavit. Do you now agree?
I agree.
As you sit here today, is that appropriate of IDEC to be soliciting complaints from members of the public on the basis of which then IDEC initiates investigations?
No, we're not supposed to solicit. And that is why I'm saying I tell Mr. Perumal to engage Mr. Adams. I don't know if this was a prepared affidavit already. It was to say to him, we received a letter from the minister. We are engaging you. So whether this was already prepared or not, at the time, we got this affidavit.
Okay, so then you recall when we're looking at MK16, the last sentence in MK16 before the signature by Mr. Ngabinde states, Honorable Fadiel Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. So it's fair then to conclude that your decision that you communicated to Mr. Adams is prepare an affidavit, Section 27 affidavit, and submit to IDEC. That's what you must have advised Mr. Adams based on your testimony.
That is what the advice would have been.
Okay.
Just on something you said in response to Ms. Sillo's previous question, you touched on the possibility that, not stating it as a fact, that the affidavit, you do not know whether the affidavit had already been prepared at the time of your instruction to Mr. Perumal. Did I understand you correctly?
That is correct, Chair.
No, that's not a fact. Look at that affidavit. It's dated 21 November 2024.
Yes.
And the minister's letter is the 11th of November 2024. So there was no prepared affidavit. I thought I should just put that out of the way. That's something you must accept, correct?
I hear what the Chair is saying.
Yes. All I'm saying is, let's forget about the possibility of an affidavit that could already have been in existence between the time that you got the letter from the minister and the time that this affidavit was eventually submitted to IDEC. That's not a possibility.
Correct.
We do see the correct facts here. Thank you.
So the upshot of all of this is that the referral to IDEC was by the minister's office. And following that referral, IDEC then made a decision to engage with Mr. Adams to obtain an affidavit from him.
It follows, Commissioner, yes.
And thank you, Commissioners. I suggest to you that you did that because you knew as ID that the minister's letter does not constitute a Section 27 referral. And IDEC decided to cure that deficiency. If we look at Section 27, it says the complaint must be on affidavit. So you knew that the minister's letter would not be sufficient to trigger your mandate. And you sought to cure that shortcoming. I'm trying to flight Section 27, if you have it close by. There, it's on the screen. You see Section 27 states, if any person has reasonable grounds to suspect that a specified offense has been or is being committed, or that an attempt has been or is being made to commit such an offense, she may report the matter in question to the head of the ID investigating directorate by means of an affidavit or affirmed declaration. You see that? And you are quite familiar with Section 27. You nod. Please articulate
yes,
your
sorry.
response. Thanks.
Yeah.
So because you read the minister's letter and you saw the difficulty that it would not trigger your power to investigate, you contact Mr. Adams through Mr. Perumal to cure that problem and to provide a Section 27 affidavit.
Yes, as the minister refers, referral and request for investigation in terms of Section 27, but there isn't a Section 27 there. And so by virtue of what you're saying, we had to go ahead then and get a Section 27.
Why?
Because there is no 27 that is referred to us through that letter.
Please go to MK 15 and look at the correspondence that I understand that you received attached to the letter by Mr. Ngabinde. And MK 15, I would like to refer you to page 28. Let's start at 282, but then in particular, I would like us to have regard to 283 and 284. From our records, we are aware of an email to the minister at the bottom, starting at the bottom of page 283 of MK15. And from Mr. Adams, if you look over leaf at 284, and in that email, having stated what his issues are at 5, he states, I urgently and humbly ask for the minister to intervene and ensure the integrity of investigative process is maintained to ensure a fair and just outcome. You see that? Do you see where I'm reading?
Yes.
And then if we go back to 283, then we see communication from Mr. Ngabinde to Major General Sebola, referring this complaint and requesting that a report be filed with the minister or the minister's office by Monday, the 4th of November. Now, if the email at page 283 at the bottom, from Mr. Adams reflects a complaint as reflected in sub 2 at the bottom of the page. He said to Minister of Police 1, I have opened cases, you see that?
Correct.
And if we go to 2, he says, I was told that the dockets were intercepted. And then in his quest for justice, he says he would travel to Gauteng to open dockets. However, I've also been notified that the Gauteng Police Department has followed the same modus operandi as the Western Cape and is interfering in the investigative process. I urgently and humbly ask for the minister to intervene and ensure the integrity of the investigative process is maintained to ensure a fair and just outcome. So my understanding of this email is what Mr. Adams wanted was that the investigative process of the cases, the dockets he had opened, the integrity of that process be maintained.
Correct.
You understand? You have the same understanding as well. Now, assuming for a moment that this is the communication that was attached to MK16, the letter addressed to you, what in this would trigger your mandate? Remember, in your affidavit, you set out your section 7A of the NPA Act. You do so at paragraph 8, page 3 of your first statement. And you do quote the Act that your mandate is to investigate serious, high-profile or complex corruption, commercial and financial cases that sub A, sub B, relating to additional related offenses or categories of offenses, including, and then it lists, and then at C, relating to additional related statutory offenses or categories, including contravention of specified acts. If we take MK16 and we take this communication that I suggest was attached to that letter, what in these documents triggers your mandate in terms of Section 7A? Do these documents reflect a serious, a high profile or complex corruption, or a serious, high profile or complex, however that is read? What about the contents of those documents bring this within the mandate of IDEC to justify your initiative to direct Mr. Perumal to go obtain a Section 27 affidavit?
If this was in fact the document that was attached, it doesn't trigger.
And if that document wasn't attached, it's even worse, because the MK16 itself gets nowhere close to Section 7A on its own without this communication.
There's the two possibilities. If
yes,
this was attached, the only time that it would have triggered anything however, I have been notified that the court has followed the same as interfering in the investigative process. That might have triggered looking at whether or not there was defeating, but I can honestly tell you I can't recall this document, so it cannot have triggered IDEC's mandate.
Are you referring to the emails now? When you say this document, are you referring to MK15, the emails?
The 283 and 284.
Pages 283, 284.
Yes.
That's the emails.
The emails, yes.
You are referring to a document singular, but Ms. Silo's question, as I understood it, was referring to both the emails and MK16, which is the letter from the minister. So don't leave that out. What about that letter? From that letter, do you see anything that triggers IDEC's mandate?
Sorry, let me just go back here, check. I don't have it straight off my head. Chair, if that was attached, and when you look at paragraph 2,
Starting with what
the
words?
allegations
Yes.
contained therein implicate very and are viewed in a serious light, and case dockets were registered as, and due to the nature of the allegations made by the Honorable Adams, which is deemed to be quite sensitive and which contains allegations of criminal conduct, the office requests the investigating director to consider investigating the same.
That says nothing. That
What?
says nothing altogether. We do not even know what those allegations are, whether serious or not. That basically says nothing. And if I were to refer you to one of your own statements, I think that's your second statement where you were required to respond to issues about the docket which you are alleged to have shared with General Khan. You had, in respect of that issue, the ability to say this is vague. It doesn't say when, it doesn't say by whom, it doesn't say, and you went on and on to demonstrate that it was vague. That same thought process by you ought to have applied here as well. There are so many whys, how, by whom, when, about what exactly. There are so many of those. If you are able to apply that thought of process or that kind of reasoning, why did you not apply it here? It's on that basis that I say this says nothing at all. So by parity of reasoning, in accordance with your own reasoning, when you concluded that what you were being asked was vague, why did you not see this as vague as well? It says nothing, I suggest to you. Do you agree or not?
It may say nothing in there, it refers to the dockets.
So you are happy that it says nothing.
It doesn't make out any allegations.
Exactly, exactly. Now, go to section 32 of the NPA Act. And please tell me when you are there. 32.
I am the chair.
Do you see that in subsection 1, that is section 32(1), there it's stated how you are to carry out your functions, and that is amongst others without fear, favor, or prejudice. And what I want to emphasize here is without fear. And then in subsection 2, that is section 32(2), the oath of prosecutors is actually set out there. You do see it, eh?
I see that, Chair.
It also captures the same words, without fear, that is, you will exercise your functions as a prosecutor, and you happen to be a senior one at that. So you will exercise your functions as a prosecutor without fear, favor, or prejudice. Again, I emphasize without fear. Now, if you accept, as you have just done, that there was nothing whatsoever in the minister's letter, what stopped you from writing back to the ministry and saying, we do not have a section 27 referral, therefore we cannot do anything about this? And you did not even have to go to the content of the letter. But because there was nothing in the content of the letter that should also have given you comfort as a prosecutor, that I do not have to follow up on anything here, because there's nothing. You have accepted that there was nothing. Why did you not write back to the minister and say, in the absence of a section 27 referral, we as IDEC cannot do anything? So that it would then have been the ministry that saw to it that a section 27 referral was placed before IDEC. Why did you not write such a letter? Were you fearful of the minister?
Not at all, and that is
Why then did you not write such a
that is why I
letter?
said, Chair.
Sorry, you
Sorry.
spoke over me. Why then did you not write such a letter?
That is why I said, Chair, we'd have to look for the letter that the response. What did I write in my response to the minister?
But
I
surely,
don't think that I
surely,
got a response.
sorry. But surely, that letter could not possibly have said, Minister, we are not going to do anything about this because there's no Section 27 referral, because that would have been at variance with or at odds with you instructing Mr. Perumal to follow up with Mr. Adams. So that letter, even if we were to look at it, it's not likely to have said what I'm suggesting you ought to have done. So do you think that letter is going to assist you?
I'd have to look at the contents.
Do
of
you
the
think
letter.
it's going to assist you as you sit there, seriously? Do you think it's going to assist you?
Not at all.
It cannot possibly do so. It cannot possibly do so, because such contents would have been, as I say, at odds with the instruction you gave to Mr. Perumal. You agree?
I agree, Chair.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I just follow
Thank
up on
you.
that?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I just follow up on that? And I want to make a proposition to you that when you look at the letter from Mr. Nkabinde, as you agree, it says nothing. It says, I attach a copy of written correspondence from Mr. Adams to the minister, not to you. And then it gives a list of cases. It says allegations contained therein implicate very senior members of the SAPS and are viewed in a serious light. And case dockets were registered, and he gives you those case dockets. And then he says, due to the nature of the allegations made by Fadil Adams, Honorable Fadil Adams, which is deemed to be quite sensitive and which contains allegations of criminal misconduct, this office requests the investigating director to consider investigating the same. And then the last is, you will advise him what you're doing. You'll advise Mr. Adams. Now, for you, the proposition that I want to make to you is for you to instruct Chief Perumal to speak to Mr. Adams. You must have had sight of these emails for you to form a view that there is possibly a matter that falls within our Section 27. You must have looked at MK 15 to 82. Otherwise, your decision doesn't make sense. That just on MK 16, you say to Mr. Perumal, speak to Mr. Adams. When 16 says nothing, as the chair says, it doesn't allege what crime it speaks about. Allegations are sensitive, doesn't tell you anything. So you don't know whether they're talking about theft of a notebook on MK 16. Could have been anything. So it cannot be. And I would be surprised if you acted on MK 16 to say to Mr. Perumal, speak to Mr. Adams, so that we can get an affidavit from him. That conduct of yours to say to Mr. Perumal, to Chief Perumal, speak to Mr. Adams, makes sense only if you've seen these emails and you've seen that there are allegations of interception of dockets. As you were starting to say that the email seems to speak to corruption of sorts, you have to have seen this. That's my proposition to you, that you must have seen these emails by the time or before you spoke to Perumal, and that's what informed you saying to Mr. Perumal, speak to Mr. Adams. What do you say to that?
I can't disagree with you, Commissioner Baloy.
Thank you.
Sorry, let me just follow up on a response you gave when I engaged you. So in the end, you accepted that you could not possibly have written a letter to the minister saying there's nothing we can do in the absence of a Section 27 referral. So you accepted your letter could not possibly have said that. I asked you, did you act in the manner in which you did because you were fearful of the minister? And I thought your response was in the negative, correct?
Correct.
If you were not fearful of the minister, why then did you act? What motivated you to act in circumstances where there was nothing in the content of the letter from the minister. You were not fearful of the minister, as you suggest, but you still went ahead regardless and gave the instruction that you gave to Mr. Perumal. What motivated you? What was the motive behind your action? If it was not fear of the minister, what then was the motive for you to act in the manner in which you did?
Is to follow up on, is there a Section 27?
Is that all you asked Mr. Perumal to
That
do?
is all, because there's a reference to a Section 27. There is no Section 27. Mr. Perumal to contact Mr. Adams to find out if there's a 27 or to get a 27.
Did you say this before, or are you saying it for the first time? If you did say it, I may have not heard you. What I'm referring to as to whether you are mentioning it for the first time now is whether your instruction to Mr. Perumal was for him to find out if there was a Section 27 referral. Did you say that before?
No, Chair, I didn't say that before.
You are saying it for the first time now. I would have expected you to say that much earlier, but I will leave it at that.
I'm reading again.
Sorry?
Sorry, I was reading again and going through what it asked.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Advocate Johnson, sorry, one last one. Do you see that as far as the minister is concerned, his letter was the Section 27 referral? Because if you look at the heading, they say referral and request for investigation in terms of Section 27. So as far as the minister was concerned, this is the Section 27. So the appropriate answer from you would have been, this does not comply with Section 27. That's the end of the story.
In fact, to add to that, nothing in this letter leads you to Mr. Adams. As Commissioner Khumalo says, it is the ministry that is referring and purporting to refer in terms of Section 27. And if you were going to ask for a Section 27 affidavit, it is from Mr. Nkabinde that you ask for, because he's the one that's purporting to refer. It doesn't direct you to Mr. Adams. The complaint has been laid with them, and Nkabinde says, I'm lodging a Section 27 complaint. And you have no business, at least on the basis of this letter, to go to Mr. Adams for a Section 27 affidavit. You go to Mr. Nkabinde for a Section 27 affidavit. You say to him, this is not a proper referral. If you want us to investigate in terms of Section 27, as Commissioner Khumalo says, give us an affidavit.
I read it differently, Commissioner Baloyi.
How do you read it differently?
It says referral and request for investigation in terms of Section 27. And he does make reference to the Honorable Fadil Adams. We don't have anything from Fadil Adams. And so the request to Perumal to get a Section 27 from Fadil Adams is based on the referral and request for investigation in terms of Section 27.
Mr. Nkabinde is asking you to investigate. Mr. Adams is not asking you to investigate. He has not communicated with you. He hasn't. Even on the version which you, on the proposition that I made to you that you must have seen the emails that he sent to the minister, even on that, he's not directing anything to you. It is Mr. Nkabinde. He raises his complaint with the minister.